Hello, welcome back to RSquared's Monday Morning Mayhem. My name is RSquared, and today we are doing a special edition of Thanksgiving / Black Friday games. Of course, now the wind starts to kick in after it was being quiet for the majority of the time while we were setting this up. But we are doing picks for the 3 Thanksgiving games and the Black Friday game. Let's go ahead and get started off with the first game. It is the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers in Detroit, I believe. I believe it is in Detroit. Am I correct about that? Yeah, they're in Detroit. Ford Field. It is the first game of the Thanksgiving window. Of course, in Detroit, for they are the Thanksgiving team. One of the 2 Thanksgiving teams, the other one being Dallas, who plays Washington later in the day. So we're going to go ahead and pick my picks for Detroit and Green Bay. I personally think that Detroit's going to come up to win this one. I think the score is probably going to be somewhere around 28-21. It's not going to be a particularly large point differential. Green Bay might be able to put up a little bit of fight because it is a rivalry game on Thanksgiving, and the Packers do have a history of upsetting the Lions. It is a great rivalry. It has been for a long time, and even when the Lions were bad and the Packers were good, the Lions always came back and put on a show on Thanksgiving Day against whatever team they were playing. It's their day. It is the Detroit Lions Day. So I am taking Detroit on Thanksgiving over Green Bay. But maybe if Green Bay does get a little win, they can jumpstart their season a little with the win over Detroit today. And I think that they definitely, I would put Green Bay on upset alert, but I'm taking Detroit over Green Bay in this one. The next game is the Washington Commanders at the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium in the second game of the Thanksgiving window. Dak Prescott really has been looking like the best quarterback in the NFL, even though I personally don't think so. He has been statistically speaking, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's done very well as of the last 2 weeks. He's averaging almost 40 fantasy points per game in PPR leagues, at least. But Dallas has been having a really good season up to this point. They've lost a couple of big games, which is why I think it's safe to say that they might lose this one. I'm not taking Washington because they don't have an offense. Their offense is non-existent. I mean, even with Eric Bieniemy as their offensive coordinator, their offense just does not exist. Ugh, everything's attacking me. So, yeah, Dallas, they're just the better team. And with that pass rush, I think they're going to sack Sam Howell at least 7 or 8 times in the game, which is a lot in football terms. Like, it's a lot if it's 4 sacks in a game. 10 sacks is pretty much unthinkable, but Sam Howell was sacked 9 times against a bad defense last Sunday, and now they're playing one of the best defenses in the league, pass rush-wise. So I think that Dallas is going to come up with the win, mostly just because of Washington's lack of offense. Like, they put up 10 points against the New York Giants, who scored 31 on them. Like, it's the Giants. They might be the worst team in the league, the Giants, and they lost by 21 points. That was not even I was shocked that they lost that one. I think they should have won that one, and I think they're going to lose against Dallas again today. If there was any team that they could beat, it was the Giants this last Sunday, and I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off against Dallas, even though it's always safe to say that Dallas will eventually throw away a game against a bad team like they did, against Arizona in Week 3. But I do ultimately think that Dallas will come up with a victory, as is said by most teams that they're going to play that have a losing record, because Dallas is a generally good team. Good team. I don't like Dallas. They lose the bad games. They lose the games they're supposed to win. That's cool. They do lose the... There's a little mini tornado going on to the left of us. That's cool. Anyway, Dallas and the Commanders, I'm taking Dallas at home. And now for the actual good game of the Thanksgiving window. It's the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. I believe they are in San Francisco for this one. Levi Stadium in the nightcap. So the actual Thursday night football game. The other 2 are just the Thanksgiving games. This is the Thursday night football game, Seattle and San Francisco. I'm taking the upset here. I'm going with Seattle over the 49ers. I think the 49ers do take the later matchup in the season. I believe they play in the last week of the season. I'll take 49ers in that one, but I'm taking Seattle right now. I think Seattle needs to have a bounce-back game. Geno Smith's been dealing with a little bit of injury, and without Kenneth Walker, they're really going to have to get DK Metcalf a little more involved in the play style a bit. Zach Charbonnet might have a good game as their backup running back. He's been pretty consistent so far this year for Seattle. And I just think that Seattle is going to have a big game, rivalry week, coming off a pretty tough week last week, but still managing a victory. I think they can definitely manage to, oh man, it's so cold that my throat's getting dry. But I do think Seattle will come up with a victory over San Francisco in that one. So that closes off our Turkey Day games. As we move on to the darkest of games, cue background, like everything's supposed to turn dark. I'll probably edit that in later. It's the Black Friday games. Between the first ever Black Friday game live from the Meadowlands of New Jersey, it's the New York Football Jets's against the Miami Dolphins, and the very zoo that they have, whether it's the cheetah or the penguin, someone's going to be catching a touchdown pass in this game for the Dolphins. I'm taking Miami over the Jets in this one. I just don't think there's any way that Tim Boyle is going to be able to beat the Dolphins. Like, they could have chose any other quarterback, would have been better than Tim Boyle. Even Zach Wilson, maybe. They still would have lost either way. But I personally would have taken Trevor Siemian over Tim Boyle, because at least Trevor Siemian has some experience with a winning team. He made a playoff one time or another. Whether Vikings fans like it or not, he did make the playoffs with them. They lost in the wild card round, but they did make the playoffs. So, I mean, if they really did want a shot, I know Trevor Siemian's like 30-something, and he's kind of an old man, but but they can definitely win that. They have a better shot with Trevor Siemian at quarterback. That's my opinion. But Tim Boyle's not going to win it for the Jets. I'm taking the Dolphins over the New York Jets on the Black Friday game. That is the 4 games for the special edition Thanksgiving picks video. Tomorrow they will be, or probably tomorrow, it might be either tomorrow or Saturday, there'll be a special video coming out where it'll just be the rest of the teams. So it'll have a little less extra games, but after all 32 teams are playing this weekend, no bye weeks. So it's going to be so even though we subtracted 4 games, it's still going to be a pretty big picks video. So if your team is not playing on Thanksgiving or Black Friday, you can check that video out on Saturday or Friday, this Friday or this Saturday, and that'll be my picks for Sunday and Monday. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Comment down below who's cooking in your house, whether it's your cousins, your brothers, who's cooking. I just want to know who's cooking in your house. What are they making? What's your tradition? Just comment down below if you want to see that. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we will see you in the next video.